In this video, we're going to cover the fish skull body tubing intruder. To start off, I've got a 40mm Senyo's articulated shank for steelhead and salmon flies. This is black. And since we are going to be tying with body tubing, I've got gel spun Vivus. This is 200 denier. For the hook, I have a Kona Big Game Hunter #1. I'm going to take some beading wire, go down through the hook eye with both ends, take the hook through this loop, and pull both strands tight. So now you have this to lash onto the shank. Next, we're going to do a dubbing bump of Senyo's Fusion Dub in Smurf color. And we're going to do this in a dubbing loop. Next, we're going to make a dubbing loop of white Arctic fox hair. So we're going to go about 60-40 on this dubbing loop. We want about 60% of the long hair sticking out on one side and about 40% of the short hair sticking out on the other. Next, I'm going to palmer some pretty short marabou right in front of the Arctic fox. Next, I'm going to add a couple strands of holographic Flashabou. On top of the Flashabou, I'm going to add a couple strands of white ostrich herl. For the next step, I'm going to tie in several strands of a different color of Flashabou for the body. For the spreader, I'm going to use a 1/4 inch Chocolate's body tubing in clear. About a 1-inch section. Start off with a little bit of super glue. Melt the end with a lighter just a little bit. Insert over the hook. Like so. And tie it off right in front of the melted section. Next, we're going to melt the front just a little bit. Now we want to turn this completely inside out. Next, we're going to bring the melted section right to where we just tied off. And tie down. And we're going to whip finish. Now we're going to push this portion back over itself to create the cone. This is going to hold all the materials in front of it away from the body so it doesn't get super skinny when it's wet. Reattach your thread. Next, we're going to add a few strands of lateral scale. Next, we're going to add another dubbing loop of white Arctic fox fur. This time we're going to go about 80-20 on the length ratio. 80% length, 20% short. Next, we're going to add barred ostrich herl all the way around the shank. Next, we'll tie in a few strands of the first flashabou we use. For the next step, we'll palmer more marabou. And we're going to use the real webby portion of some schlappen for a collar. And whip finish. And you have the finished fish skull body tubing intruder.